It's almost sunset. Mark did the lawn today. It looks beautiful. There's Rosie. Stay here, Rosie. And Lily. Everything's so green. Boy, has it changed. Yep. Yep, it's my babies. Well, that's my trailer. My Christine, but boy, I wish it was a little bigger. I really wish I had a fifth wheel because those are roomy. Well, anyway. Stay here, Lily. I don't have the money to buy one, but it would be so nice to have one because I'd like an easy chair. I don't have one really comfortable place in my living room. Yep, maybe someday it'll happen. Rosie, come here. Anyway, it's a beautiful night. Weather's very mild. And I'll probably catch the sunset because it looks like it's going to be gorgeous. Good morning, YouTubers, friends, and family. rvDebs here. It's Friday. It's about 10 in the morning. Birds are singing. But it is overcast and we're supposed to have possible thunder showers throughout the day and tomorrow. I had a hard night though. Although, see, Lily's doing okay. Her tail's up. Usually I can tell. But she was walking around. I could hear her tap, tap, tapping on the linoleum. And so I got up. And she was not feeling good, I could tell. She had like a tummy ache. I think she's constipated. And so I got up. And I held her and I put her on her bed and just stroked her for a while. And she didn't want to come to bed. So finally, after about an hour of being up at 4 in the morning, she finally went to bed with me. I took her to bed. And I just touched her, and she likes to be, you know, stroked and touched. And I did that for about an hour while I was trying to sleep because I was tired. She slept right in my arm just about. I just got up a little while ago because I have a noon appointment to get my nails done. At least she's pee-peeing, that's good. You doing okay today? I think she's a little constipated. I don't know. You know, I'm not her, and I can't talk to her like I could talk to a person. But her tail is up, so that's a good sign. Anyway, so I was up pretty much some of the night, you know, from like 4 in the morning till about 6 in the morning. Hey, Rosie. Rosie, good. She's a good girl. And, I'm going to get myself going so I can go to the nail appointment at noon. And then tonight there's a baseball game here in Knox City with, of course, Chase, who's going to be 8 it's very soon. No, not 8. I mean, he's going to turn 10. He's 9 now, but he's almost 10. I think August he was born. Matter of fact, I think it's August 19th. When he was born, Kathy and I were up in a hotel room doing an arts and crafts show somewhere. I think it was Michigan. Anyway, yeah, it was Michigan. That's why I remember so much. Okay, guys, I'm gonna make some coffee. I need to wake myself up. Okay, ready to go to my nail appointment. That one I already lost completely. I hit my finger. It hurt so bad I had to take that coating off because it was putting pressure on my finger. Okay. Okay, it's kind of yuckied out. I hope it doesn't rain too much. It's about 11:20, maybe a little after that, and I have to be there by noon, so I got time. But I need time because, yeah, it takes time to get there. Allergies, I got them. I never had them when I was young, but I have them now that I'm older. Whew. I'm gonna take y'all with me today. Although I don't like making such long videos. I know some people hate long videos. Lately my average is 20 minutes and sometimes more. That's a long video. Let me know what you think. Do you think I should cut the videos to shorter ones? Or just do what I'm doing? Tell me if you like the longer videos, or, you know, what you guys think. I always like to hear. I may not do everything you tell me to do, but it's always good to hear what y'all think. Y'all. That's my Florida y'all, not a Texas y'all, even though they say it here too. In Florida, they say y'all also. Okay. Oh, cute little doggy sitting outside. Here we go. Story time. I was thinking about what can I tell you guys about my life. I've done story time before. It's been a while though since I have really said anything about my past and what I, you know, where I'm from and everything. But I went to, I lived in California from the age of about 6 years old, maybe. Yeah. So I went to public school in California. I went to high school in Hollywood, California. And I started playing the guitar when I was 12. I don't play anymore. That's why I have long nails. I haven't played the guitar in a few years. It's terrible. I do have a guitar. It's under my bed. I never get it out. Which makes me feel guilty because I was really a good guitar player at one point. Not at one point, for a long time. Anyway, my dad came home one day with a guitar. My mother was very musical, so he brought the guitar for her, just for her to play on it and see if she wanted to play it. And I just picked it up and took to it. I don't know, it was just something that I loved it. And so I wound up getting lessons for 4 years in a place in Los Angeles, and it was the coolest guitar class, and I'm so glad I went to it because I don't even remember how they found out because I was just 12. But you would start on Mondays. All the beginners would be on Mondays, and you'd work your way to Friday. Friday was the performance class, the best. And I did get, of course, I got to the performance class, and we were taught basically folk guitar and folk music. So I learned, you know, English and Irish folk music and American folk music. The first song that I can remember was, I learned Tom Dooley and Old Paint, Jamaica Farewell, you know. Learned how to strum. I never used a pick, and learned figure picking. And the teacher, there were 3 teachers. One was Harriet. It was Harriet Williams' music studio or music class. Harriet was this beautiful, tall black lady, and her niece also taught. She taught the beginners. I think her name was Janet, but I'm not. My memory's a little bit failing when it comes to her name. And then the other teacher was Molly, and Molly was a white woman. And these were like bohemian. These were like, this is before hippies. These were what do you call them? Not beatniks, but you could pretty much put them in a beatnik category. Like they like were that type of cool people to me. So that's where I started the guitar at 15. It took me 3 years to get to Friday, and then after that, one of my first jobs I ever had in in West Hollywood, because we moved to West Hollywood when I was 15. Before that, we lived in Inglewood, which is like, it's part of Los Angeles, but it's not West Hollywood. And the reason we moved there is my parents became managers of this tall, high-rise apartment right behind Barney's Beanery, which is a famous restaurant and bar, right on Santa Monica Boulevard. Anyway, yeah, so at 15, I got my first job teaching guitar, just the beginners. I could teach beginners. And in exchange, I got some lessons from a man, and he taught me a little more of finger picking, stylizing. And my mother always, like, when I'd sing songs, she would like teach me to sing it right and have feelings and express, sell the song. And I just remember her saying, "Sell it, Debbie, tell the story." And I really loved it. I used to really enjoy entertaining everybody. I wouldn't go anywhere without my guitar. So that's how I started playing music. And then after that, when I was 19 years old, I wanted to be on my own, and my sister was 4 years older, and she had moved with her friends to Santa Barbara, California. And if you don't know much about it, that's about a 2-hour drive from Los Angeles going north. Beautiful place. Santa Barbara is absolutely gorgeous. And I moved there, and I stayed in Santa Barbara for about 2 years. And that was the beginning of my adulthood, anyway. And that was 1969. So you can imagine that those were wonderful years to be a young person in the 60s and 70s. I was never really a hippie, but I certainly was a flower child and the love generation. And which makes me who I am today, all of that. Yep. So as I grew up, I met a guy, and I was 21 and he was 24, and he was a real good-looking, long-haired guy who played guitar, and we would sit and jam together. We would smoke pot and play guitar and sing, and we wound up getting married, which was a big mistake. Big mistake. And about 1.5 years after we were married, we broke up, and he was just, I hate to say he was a redneck, because that's used too much, but he would drink a lot of Budweiser and then smash the cans and leave them everywhere. And he really was like a non-caring. He didn't care how he treated me. I was just there to pick up after him and make him meals, and it just turned out horrible. So I remember my dad getting me out of the house. We lived in this little house up in the mountains called the Grapevine, a town called Fraser Park, which was on the top of the mountains going from Los Angeles over to Bakersfield. So it was like a trucker route. And I was there with him for a while. I felt like I was totally left, taken away from my friends and my family. And here's this beer drinking redneck, and that's a story in itself, but it's not even worth telling. I married him because I thought I was going to be an old maid. So I thought, well, he asked me to marry him, and I thought I cared a lot, but I didn't. Now that I look back. So my dad brought up a van, because my dad's always been in the car business, and he loaded my stuff up, and moved me back to West Hollywood, where I became single. And my dad said, you know, you've got a cousin, Maxine, which of course I knew, and she lives in Clearwater, Florida. And, you know, I don't want you to go back with him. And it would have been easy to go back, you know. So he flew me to Clearwater, Florida. For the first time in my life, I basically went to Florida. And I stayed with my cousin Maxine and got myself an apartment, got myself a roommate. Her name was Denise, and she's still my friend to this day, as a matter of fact. And she lost her husband when I lost my husband a week before. She lost her husband and was in the same hospice, like 2 rooms down. It's very weird. And she was in my spouse loss group. So we're still good friends today. And we're talking like a long time ago. So that's how I got to Florida. And I was in Florida until until I left Florida to come live in Texas. But when I met Kathy, I met her, and I took her to California. I said, we got to go. I want to show you California, because I knew my way around. I've been all the way up to Seattle, you know, many times. Just many trips with my husband, the first husband. We went to Seattle where his family lived. He was, by the way, my first husband's name was Frank. I think he's across country. I don't know what he's doing now. He may be dead. I have no clue. But he was going to be a truck driver. And he was a quarter Eskimo. And one of the neatest things about being married to him was that his grandmother, on his mother's side, that was the Eskimo side, was 100% Eskimo. His mother was half Eskimo, and he was a quarter. And I'll never forget, we were in Seattle, and his grandmother came to visit, and she brought wild blueberries that she picked from her yard, and she brought seal oil and dried fish. I don't remember exactly what kind of fish, but it was dry. And we sat around and we ate seal oil with carrots and wild blueberries. It was a strange Eskimo-y meal. She didn't even speak much English. That was in itself a story. So I got to Florida, and I guess I'm going to end it there. There's too much in my life to tell in one video, and I've been talking a while. So I'm going to end it here, and we'll continue with my life story in other videos. I hope you enjoyed my story time, and if you did, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, I hope you do subscribe. Thanks for watching. See how overcast today it is? Yep. Not so pretty today. I'm not going very fast, so I'm going to turn the camera off, listen to music, and get where I'm going. I don't think I've ever showed you guys how pretty this building is where I get my nails done. Isn't this great? Look at this place. Yep. Very neat building. That's right, they own the whole building. I'm gonna go in there. I don't want to be rude. Just got out of the nail place, and I chose basically a mauve color and cut them short. So, I'm going to head home. It's raining, so I'm going to take the highway home to be safe. So I'll talk to you guys soon.